Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this lovely suburban style house. I've not made one that quite looks like this yet. This one is a bit of an interesting one. It has plenty of balconies both on the front and the back. It features a double garage at the base of the building. It's quite tall, so it doesn't take up a lot of ground space. It has a lovely garden on the front and the back as well. The way that you access the building is all the way up these stairs on the right hand side here. You walk all the way up and you can see the front door, which is actually on the side of the build, as you might be able to see there. And as we swing around the back of the building, you can see two additional balconies with a little bit of a garden at the base. There's plenty of room to expand this house. As you might be able to tell from the outside, there is loads and loads of room. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This is a bit of a different build that I've decided to do. If you do enjoy it, please do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. If you subscribe, say hello down there in the comment section, I'll say hello back, and click the little bell next to the subscription button, and that'll ensure that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box. However, without any further ado, let me show you how to actually make this thing. It's not as hard as it might look. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some hardened clay, some block of quartz, some quartz stairs, some quartz slabs, some stone brick stairs, some stone bricks, some stone slabs, some blue stained glass paint, and some dark oak fence. Plus, we need all of the other materials that you can see in the inventory right there, and we may even need a few more later on. It does depend what we want to do to the inside and the outside as time progresses. So grab everything that you see, and once you have everything, we can now begin the build. So this build right here, and this does not include the front and back garden, guys, this space that we have on the ground. This build will fit into a 28 block coming across the front by a 29 block area, and that is 28 blocks across the front, 27 blocks back. So that does not include like the driveway and stuff. This just includes the area of the house. If you want to add more or less to it, then you're going to take up more room, as you guys might imagine. So if you want to begin the build by placing this rectangular shape on the ground like I have, if you do that, begin on the front left hand corner of your rectangle, move into the right from that corner by 1, and then move inwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll begin in the same position. You don't have to do that, but you can if you like. Begin by placing a row of 6 hardened clay coming up from that position. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take that 6th block and go right of it by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Connect that 10th block down to the ground. I actually just connected the wrong one down there, but there we go. Then take this row of hardened clay that you just formed by connecting it to the ground and add an additional row going right of it. So you want to take that row and duplicate it going to the right. Take the row that you've just made and extend it towards you by 2 rows. So 1 row, 2 rows. So you can see what we've done. To the right one, towards us by 2. We then want to take this row that we've just extended outwards and we want to extend it to the right by 1 row. Then take the top block of that row and go to the right of it by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take the 9th and the 8th block and connect them both to the ground, like this. So you want to have a shape which should look very much like that. What we can now do is we can take this back row here, so you can take this back row on the very far right. You want to take the back of this row and you want to extend it towards the back of the build by 20 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, like that. We then want to take this 20th block. We want to drag it across the back of the build over to the right hand side. And what we want to do is we want to line it up with where we began this build. And then we can connect it all the way to the front of the building, and this will create the floor plan for the base of our house. So we want to have a shape which should look like that. Well, what we're now going to do, once you've got that sorted out, is we are going to add some layers of hardened clay on top of what we've just made. So we want to take the base shape that we have just made, right? We want to take that shape and we want to add layers of hardened clay on top of it. So you basically just want to take up the entire base row of hardened clay, raise it all up until until it is as high as all of the other hardened clay. Make sure not to fill in the 2 empty spaces at the front of the build that we kind of have like archways for, that space and that space, because those are going to be the garage holes. So obviously we don't want to have those filled in. We want to, in a bit, we can even maybe do it after this, we want to add some garage doors in there. We can add them in after this, there's no reason why we can't. It'll actually look nice with them added in there. The garage doors, very, very simple. We can get those knocked out, no problem. And we will actually have to grab an additional material for them. I believe that in at the very least one of them, yep, in one of them we actually have like a door pull. So we're just raising up all of the hardened clay. As you can see, we're setting a nice foundation for ourselves at the moment. And like I said, as I keep repeating, once this is done, we will be moving on to the garage doors, which will be very, very simple. One is actually completely different from the other. So we'll get this taken care of and then we can have a look. So we have now just added on all of the hardened clay, and now you can see we have a nice foundation for this house. So what are we going to do now? We're doing the garage doors. We'll start with the right one on the front of the build. First of all, what we want to do is we want to take the bottom center block of this empty space that we have on the right hand side, and we want to place a stone brick in it. We want to extend that stone brick left and right by 2 with the quartz stairs. 1, 2, 1, 2. We want to place a block of quartz either side of the stairs, and the block of quartz wants to go all the way around the inside of the empty space that we have, like this. We then want to place layers of quartz stairs on top of that base row at the bottom of the garage door, like this. And we also want to grab a cobblestone wall and place it in front of the stone brick, like so. And that acts as kind of like a door pull for the garage door, so like how you'd actually open it. And whilst we're here, what we can also do is if we take the top 2 upper corners of the garage, and if we place quartz stairs coming out from the top 2 corners, and place stone brick stairs in between the quartz stairs, place a quartz slab underneath each one of the quartz stairs, extend them forwards by 1 row, and then connect them together, then that will give us a nice overhang for the garage. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Well, once you've got that sorted out, let's move on to garage number 2, which is here. So the second garage is a little bit different in that this garage is going to sit 1 block backwards in relation to the hardened clay. So inside of the empty space that we have for the whole of the garage, we want to place a layer of quartz block that goes all the way around the inside of the garage. So you can see it says 1 block inwards and it goes all the way around the inside. We then want to place rows of quartz stairs starting from the bottom coming up to the top of the garage. So we just want to have a few rows of quartz stairs that look like this, and that will give us 2 nice garages. If you want the same effect as like the garage pull for the bottom of the door, you can add that. I like them being different personally, but that, like I said, up to you. A couple of other things that you can do whilst we're here is in between the 2 garages, you can add a layer of stone bricks that kind of like wraps around the left hand corner of the front garage, and you can add like 2 layers of stone bricks or so, and then like a layer of stone slabs on top of this, and it creates a nice feature. You can do the same thing just to the right of this garage, and what this does is it gives you kind of like, you know how the left garage, how you have like a depth effect because the garage door is set 1 block backwards, you get a similar sort of deal adding the stone bricks onto the right one. However, it's kind of like an artificial layer of depth because of course the garage door does sit on the outside. But it's a nice thing to add regardless. Once you've got that sorted out, however, you want to move to the left hand side of your build. And what do you want to do here? I'm pretty sure. Okay, so what do we want to do here? You might be wondering to yourself. So you want to begin at the very front bottom right hand corner of this side. You want to move into the left by 3. 1, 2, 3, like that. You want to move upwards, yeah, and you want to make sure, you want to basically have a row of 12 moving upwards from here. So we already have a few rows. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So on top of this block, we want to make this a row of 12. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from that base block that we have, we wanted to add a row of 7 on top of that 5, so that is now a row of 12. I'm sure that you guys can understand what we've just done. Then you want to extend this 12th block backwards, and you want to connect it down to the back corner of your house, like this. You can also fill in this wall with your hardened clay, and then we can create the entire left-hand wall of the house. The walls of this house are a little bit tricky. They're all a little bit of a different shape, actually. It's kind of tricky to do, but once the walls are taken care of, all we'll have to do is add details like windows and stuff. So there we go, we have our rows of hardened clay. Add a layer of block of quartz on top of the hardened clay, as you can see now. Add 4 layers of hardened clay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and fill those rows in. So add 4 layers of hardened clay on top of the left-hand side of the house, and then we will move on to the other side of the house in just a second, and we will fill those in as well. But I'll tell you what, we've kind of made things easy for ourselves, because this row of quartz that we have here can be found pretty much throughout the entirety of the house, so it will make shaping the house very, very simple. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to take this block of quartz, this one that is all the way up at the front center of the house. You guys know where this is, so this block of quartz. You want to take this and you want to extend it to the right by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you want to extend it down to the ground using your hardened clay, or you don't have to connect it down to the ground if you don't want, but I would connect it down to the actual framework of the house, like this. Then add 2 layers of hardened clay underneath the horizontal row of quartz. So this will be 1 layer, and then 2 layers of hardened clay, like that. Then take this left-hand second row of hardened clay and go underneath it by 4 with the block of quartz. That's 1, 2, 3, and that'll be 4, like that. We then want to go right of this row of quartz by 1 row with the blue stained glass paint. Then do a row of block of quartz, like this. Then leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then do another layer of block of quartz that is as high as the others, and then do a layer of blue stained glass paint, then do a layer of block of quartz, and you can then finish this off. Hang on guys, I'm trying to plus the last quartz. Finish it off with a layer of hardened clay. So we want to have something which should look like this. And now I'm just realizing we are missing a material. We actually want to grab ourselves the oak wood planks, or whatever material you want to use for a balcony, because you want to make it so that this L-shaped layer of hardened clay just above the garage is made out of oak wood planks, like this, and it wants to come all the way to the right like this. And then you actually want to fill the entire balcony in with oak wood planks. So you can use your oak wood planks, or you can use a different material entirely, completely up to you, but you want to have something which should look from the outside a little bit like that. So you want to have that. We will come to the rest of this later. However, this is what we're going to do next. So, we want to take, you know this horizontal row of block of quartz, how we went to the right by 11? We want to extend this block of quartz forwards until it is hovering in line with the hardened clay down at the bottom. We want to take the block of quartz to the right, and we want to make sure that it maintains the same shape that we have down below. So it wants to maintain the same shape that we have at the base of the house, like this. And if it makes it easier, you can also start from the other side, and you can kind of extend it over a little bit so you don't make any big errors. So you can kind of connect it together like that. That's not too bad, is it? So we just want to have something which should look like this. Now, once you've got that sorted out, this is what we are going to do next. So we want to take this row of hardened clay just to the right of this these balcony doors. We want to extend this row of hardened clay forwards until it is in line with the quartz framework that runs midway through the house, like this. So we want to extend it forwards like that. We then want to take just above the balcony doors here, and we want to place a quartz stairs coming out from the top two corners. We want to place stone brick stairs in between the quartz stairs, and we want to place quartz slabs underneath the quartz stairs. Extend those slabs outwards by one row and connect them together like this to form a nice overhang above the balcony. It's very similar to what we did to the garage a little earlier on, like that. What we now want to do is we want to place a window above where we have this balcony here. So we're going to take this row of block of quartz that runs across the top of the balcony. We're going to, on top of this second block of quartz here, we're going to go to the right of it by 3. We're going to go on top of it and to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3 with the hardened clay. We're then going to place a block of quartz on top, and then we're going to go to the right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take the first block and the fourth block here, and we're going to extend them up each by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like that. We're then going to fill the center of this in with glass pane, like this, with glass pane. We want to add a layer of quartz slab that goes all the way in front of the top of the window, and we also want to add a layer of quartz slab that comes all the way, kind of like a windowsill, like half a row from the bottom, like that. Looks quite good like that. If you like, you can also fill, it's best that we don't fill anything else in, because we might interfere with the framework of the roof actually, so we'll be careful there. But once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to move to the front right hand side of the house here. So above the right hand garage here, we're going to add a layer of hardened clay directly on top of the garage here. So add a layer of hardened clay. We then want to go to the right on top of this hardened clay here. We want to go on top of this to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to place a block of quartz on top, and then we want to go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Did that right. We then want to take the first block here and that fourth block, and we want to extend them up each by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we want to create an identical window to the one that we've just made. So we want to fill it in with blue stained glass paint, as you can see me doing right here. I'm doing a bad job at it. There we go. And then we want to add quartz slabs coming across the top, and a layer of quartz slabs half a row from the bottom, like that. We then want to connect the front right hand corner of the house together, top to bottom like this, and then we can just fill the area around the window in with hardened clay, and this will not create any sort of, that won't create any sort of disturbances with the frame of the house. It's the roof that I'm mainly concerned about. The roof's easy to mess up. It's kind of tricky because it's kind of like slanted. You guys will see in a bit. So we want to have this. What we then want to do is we want to take this top front left-hand corner of block of quartz here. We want to move to the right of it by 1 and place an upside-down quartz stairs in front of it. We want to place a quartz slab coming out in front of that. Extend that slab to the right. Extend it to the right until it is 1 block just off of the right, so you're leaving a gap of 1 between the edge of the build. You want to connect it to the actual building with an upside-down quartz stairs, and then fill the center of the balcony in with stone bricks, like this. Then take the quartz blocks on the left hand side and the right hand side that are connected to the stone bricks and extend them upwards each by 4 with the block of quartz. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Add a layer of blue stained glass paint inside of this, like that, inside of each one of the rows. We then want to add layers of hardened clay on the outsides of the layers of block of quartz on the left and the right hand side, like this. Then add a layer of hardened clay coming across the top, like so. And then what we can do is we can, coming outwards diagonally from the top 2 corners of the door, we can place our quartz stairs. We can place stone brick stairs coming out in front of, or in between them. And then we can place our quartz slabs underneath the stairs, extend them outwards and connect them together to once again create a nice little overhang. If you're worried about falling off the balcony, as you should be, I'm definitely afraid of it. We want to add some dark oak fence to introduce another colour to the house going around the edge of the balcony like that. So what we want to do now is this. We want to take out our hardened clay and we want to add a layer of hardened clay on top of where we have the overhang for the window, like this. We then want to take the very top left hand corner hardened clay on the front of the house here, and from this block we want to do 5 upper right diagonals. So from this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 5 upright diagonal hardened clays. We then want to connect those 5 diagonals down, going to the bottom right diagonally, and we want to create a triangular shape like this. Underneath this top center hardened clay, we want to go down by 2, 1, 2. We then want to place 2 glass coming down, 1 glass, and there is 2 glass like that. Then we want to extend the glass left and right by 1 like this, so to create a nice window effect like that. We're then going to place hardened clay everywhere else, like this. Then we're going to place a layer of quartz slab in the lower half of the window and a layer of quartz slab in the other half of the window at the top to create a nice effect. That looks exactly like this. So that is exactly what we want to have, guys. So once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to move our way to the right hand side of the house now. We want to take this this hardened clay here, that isn't a part of these triangular diagonals. We want to take this hardened clay, we want to extend this all the way to the right, yeah? So we want to extend it to the right, towards the back of the house, and we want to connect it down to the framework. So we want to connect it all the way down, and we want to create a nice shape like this. So we want to create this shape. That's what we're after. We want to form a nice big rectangular shape. You can fill this in completely with a hardened clay. Later on, we are going to add an entrance, and we are going to add like a walkway that will take us all the way up to the actual entrance of the house. We'll add all of that, but that's a little bit later on, and we don't have to destroy very many blocks to actually make that happen. We just have to destroy like the 2-block entrance into the house. It's not a big deal whatsoever. So we'll create this side, and then we'll move on to the back, and we'll just have all of the details to add to the back. And there's not that many details to add to the back, to be completely honest with you guys. Not very many whatsoever. We just have a couple of balconies, pretty much. And once we've added a couple of balconies, we can begin work on the actual roof, which is the hardest part of this house, I would say. The roof is a little bit tricky to put together, but once it is, that is the hardest part 100% done, and then we can move on with our lives. So we want to have something which should look like that on the right hand side of the house. Now we can move to the back of the house. So on the back of the house, we are now going to, like I said, we're going to add in some windows and stuff. So we want to take this upper left hand quartz block. You guys can see this one, yeah? This upper left hand quartz block. Move into the right from this block by 2, 1 and 2. Take this block, and you want to do an upside down quartz stairs coming out from this, and then extend it forwards by 2, 1, 2, with the quartz slabs, I should say. And then extend that to the right by, what shall we say? We'll say about 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then extend it forwards by 1 block with the quartz slab, and then connect it to the wall using quartz stairs. Fill the lower half of this in, or fill the actual balcony portion in, with stone bricks like that. We then want to take the end quartz blocks that touch the stone bricks, and we want to extend them up each by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Add a layer of glass coming inwards from each one of the blocks of quartz. Then add a layer of quartz block inwards from the glass, like this. Then add a layer of hardened clay on the left, above, and the right of the door, like this. And then take the top 2 diagonal corners and place quartz stairs in front of them, like this. Place stone brick stairs in front of that. Place quartz slab below and in front of the actual quartz stairs like this, and then place a layer of blue stained glass pane that goes all the way around the edge of the balcony like this. So it wants to extend out in this sort of fashion. And that is that balcony done, that particular balcony. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we want to come down to, like, say, the lower right side here, where we have all of this empty space, yeah? Actually, it might be a bit easier if we come to the front of the build. So, on the front of the build, you can see here that we have this layer of oak wood planks, don't we? Place a layer of upside down quartz stairs going around the oak wood planks. This wants to extend to the left hand side of the build, and it wants to extend backwards like this. So you now have a line of upside down quartz stairs. Extend this quartz stairs, this one, out of the back of the build by, say, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then go to the left of this 4th block and go to the left of it by, I would say, about 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Maybe even a little bit more. Maybe add like an 11th block, like that. Then extend it to the house, like this. Then add a layer of oak wood planks, like where the hardened clay is, in between the actual quartz. You might even want to make that end block, like you might want to make it like hardened clay where the actual stairs touch, so maybe like this. And you might even want to fill in the base of this with oak wood planks as well, so you might find that you want to also fill this in a little bit with oak wood planks, like that. Then you want to take this row of hardened clay on the right, the back corner of the house, and you want to place a row of 4 blocks of quartz to the left of it. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then go left of this with a row of blue stained glass paint. Then do a row of block of quartz to the left of that. Leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then do a layer of block of quartz. Then do a layer of blue glass, and then a layer of block of quartz, like this. Then do a layer of hardened clay next to that. Do a layer of hardened clay on top of this, connecting to the wall, and you can even do an additional layer on top of that just to connect things together, like so. Then, coming out of the top 2 corners of like where the entrance is, you can place your layer of quartz stairs. We've done this a few times before. Connect them together with stone bricks, and then you can place quartz slabs below the actual quartz stairs coming outwards, and you can extend them going from right to left, left to right, however you want to do it, and it just wants to connect like that. Then you can feel free to place like a layer of dark oak fence going all the way around the balcony in any sort of fashion that you want. It can come all the way around the balcony, and it can either stop on the outside like this, so you can kind of like have it stop, and I'm doing the same thing on the front, or you can have it like extend across the entire back of the house, or the entire front of the house rather, if you like. It's kind of up to you how you want it to connect together. I quite like that. That doesn't look too bad at all. So once you have got that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, what we now want to do is we want to come to the back of the house, and first of all we're just going to fill in the middle section of the back of the house. So we're just going to fill the middle section of the back of the house in now. So as you can see, we're just filling this in. It takes a little while, doesn't it? But once this is done, we can now start putting in the lines for the roof. Yeah, the lines for the roof are actually kind of tricky, but we want to have that. Now, once that is sorted out, we want to take the top left-hand corner block of the back of the build, and from this block, we want to do 5 upright diagonals. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you will notice that that is now as high as it is on the front of the build, which is quite important. That's kind of what we're after. We want it to be as high as it is on the front of the build. Now we want to come to the front left-hand corner of the house, and we will have to do quite a few upright diagonals from this block. It's the top front left-hand corner block at the front. We have to do quite a few blocks from this. So from this hardened clay block, we actually want to do 11 upright diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That 11th block should be able to connect downwards. If we were to actually connect it down, it should be able to connect downwards to like the center point of the front of the house. So it should be able to connect down like that. That's how you know that that's actually correct. We want to have a similar thing on the back of the house. So if you take this 11th block, right, this 11th diagonal, if you extend it backwards, and if you actually connect it down to the back of the house, so like it'd be in this position, like this, then it'll help you generate the frame of the roof. You can even take this 11th block that we now have on the back, and you can connect it downwards diagonally to the right hand side of the house, you can create diagonals, and you can also at the same time fill in this portion of the house by doing the layers of hardened clay underneath the diagonals. But you just have to keep doing diagonals until you eventually connect down to the same position as you did on the front, like this. So as you can see, I've kind of like done two things in one. I have connected down, and I have also created the diagonals. I'm also going to now fill in this area that we have on the front. Just right of this window, I'm just going to fill in this area on the front with our hardened clay, like this. And I'm also going to fill in underneath the window, and just left of the window, like this, above the window, and I'm just going to create a nice solid shape with the hardened clay. So I just want to have something which should look like that, right? I'm now going to connect the front part of the house here. I'm just going to connect it backwards with a few rows of hardened clay, like this, like that. And that gives us this sort of shape here. Now, once we have got that taken care of, we can now talk about the rest of the actual roof. So most of what is left with this house is the roof and then the actual entrance to the house. Let me show you how this is going to be done. So the roof itself is quite easy. It's a two-tone roof. That means the very edge of the roof is made of quartz. That is the part that overhangs and the bit at the top. So we want to take the front part of the house on the right, and we want to do a layer of quartz stairs that extends out across in front of the house by one row. The center of the roof is stone bricks, like this. The top of the roof is going to be made out of quartz slabs, like that. So the roof wants to, as I said, overhang the front of the build with a layer of quartz stairs like this, and we want to have the stone brick stairs rolling down at the right hand side of the roof with quartz stairs extending out in front of the stone brick stairs like this. We want to have upside down quartz stairs underneath each one of those overhanging quartz stairs. So upside down ones underneath the overhanging ones like this. Underneath each one of the overhanging ones, exactly like that. That's wonderful. And we want the same thing on the back. So on the back we'll have like a layer of stone brick stairs right on the center of the roof. On the back, only do the roof where you have the diagonals. The back is going to be a little bit tricky. I'll show you guys why in a sec, but just do like the outer part of the roof, the part that's like hangs over the right hand side of the house, and then we'll talk about the rest of it in a sec. So we're just going to connect that, and then we're going to do a layer of upside down quartz stairs underneath this like that. So we want to have this sort of shape, because what we now want to do is we also want to find a way in which we can kind of connect like this bit here down to this bit down here. So if we first of all do a little bit of the roof on the left hand side, like everywhere that we have the diagonals, starting from the very edge of the building, we want to have our layer of stone brick stairs that sits on top of the diagonals, and then of course we want to make it overhang. But we have to find a way for the left hand roof to connect to the right hand roof. So I'll show you what I mean in just a second. And this is where it gets tricky. Like this, connecting the two roofs is difficult. Making each roof is very, very easy. So you can see like we have two roofs now. We have the left hand roof and we have the right hand roof. The top roof here is of course going to have a stone slab on it, or a quartz slab. But like I said, we have to connect down. So we have to like create layers of hardened clay that come down, which are going to allow us to place the roof. So if we like create diagonals that come all the way down like this, right? We might even have to delete some of these, but I'm just placing them. So we have to imagine that the roof is kind of going to be whole like this, and then we have to make another layer of the roof coming down that will connect diagonally like this. So if we extend the quartz slabs backwards like this, you can see where the roof is actually going to connect like that. So you can see that we have like a big part of the roof, we have the small part of the roof coming outwards. So I'm going to place a layer of quartz stairs that comes down now like this, and I also want to connect the stone brick stairs coming back like this. I want to connect the stone brick stairs to the actual house itself like this. I'm going to extend it backwards like that. I want to have upside down quartz stairs underneath the overhanging layer of quartz stairs like this, coming all the way down to the left hand side. So we want to have something which should look like that, which isn't insanely complicated. It's just a little bit tricky in terms of the tutorial, so you can see how it connects together. We want to do a similar thing on the back. So like if we come to the back, we want to kind of like, we want to first of all just connect the quartz slabs from the front to the back, if I can do that, like this, and then we can actually kind of like keep going with the stone brick stairs that we have on the front. We can kind of like extend these towards the back, and then we can just finish them off by placing like a quartz stair on the edge of them. So as I keep repeating like a parrot over and over again, it's not very difficult to do. It's kind of difficult for me to explain, as roofs have always been. So quite easy in practice. It's just joining one roof to another. It's just figuring out the position in which they do connect together and make them connect in a good way like this. And then we just have to fill in all of the other layers of the roof. And once this is done, we can then do the entrance, and then I can give you a couple of tips and tricks for the garden. I can show you how to lay that out if you like, and I won't actually be doing it on recording though. Like I won't actually be filling in the garden completely, because it takes a little bit of time to tweak it and stuff, but I can give you some tips on how to make it look good. And there is a specific type of garden that I think especially out front, that really fits the shape of this build nicely without it going a little crazy. So we want to have this, as you can see, like from the back, and then all we have to do is we just have to connect the front of the roof to the back of the roof in a very predictable way, in the exact same way that pretty much every single other roof works. We just have to have the quartz stairs overhang the back of the build by one row, like this. Like that, and then we just have to have upside down quartz stairs underneath the overhanging stairs. We will also have a layer of clay to fill in on this side, just underneath this roof. It'd actually be easier, I'm being a bit silly, it'd actually be easier to fill the clay in first. So I'm just going to fill in this clay here. I'm going to fill this in like that. Can fill all of this in here. This is going to be back of the house, almost complete at this. We won't have to do anything else. Perfect. Is that everything? Is it? Yes, it is. Wonderful. You can even add a quartz slab here. Like you can see where the roof kind of connects on the back. You can even add a quartz slab there. But that is what the back of the house looks like. Very simple. We just have to fill in all of these layers of stone brick stairs, which is not fun. Actually takes a while. But that'll be the hard bit done. This house looks really good so far. Looks great. Just needs that one finishing touch of actually being able to get inside of the thing, and then we'll have a nice looking place on our hands. Really cool, this one. I like it. It's very different from all of my other suburban houses. All of my other suburban houses kind of like fit a theme, like they're all like made out of birch wood, and they're made out of like either like cyan hardened clay. I have a couple which are kind of in this style with like the hardened clay, which is really cool, but my favorite is I think that this is such a cool shape. I don't know, this is one of my favorites definitely. So we just have something now which should look like that. You see that we have all of the roofs done, looking lovely at that. There we go. Now, what do we have to do next? You might be wondering to yourself. So, if we come to the back left-hand corner of the house, at the very bottom, we want to take this bottom left-hand corner block here, and we want to place a row of 4 stone bricks coming out the side of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of this 4th block, go up by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect it to the right. And we also want to connect this 6th block, or we want to extend this 6th block forwards by a random amount. Extend it forwards until it is covering about 2/3 of the front of the house. So like this, until it's covering about 2/3, then extend that down like that. Make it hit the ground like that. Now, once you've done that, we now want to take this top block, and we want to do like bottom left diagonals coming towards the front of the house until we have that actually lined up perfectly. That's lined up very, very nicely. I don't know how I've managed to do that. You can even have it overhang the front of the house by one row if you don't like the fact that everything kind of like lines up like that. I don't know how that kind of lined up perfectly as it did, but add like a layer of diagonal stone bricks coming down. Add a parallel layer of this to the left of the layer that we've just done, leaving a gap of 2 in the ground. So eventually it will look like we'll have a layer of stairs coming up, and then we just want to have like a parallel layer of stone bricks that comes up in the exact same way that the previous layer of stone bricks comes up. So it'll come up here, and it'll come all the way across, coming all the way to the back like this. We want to take each one of the walls of this, and we want to fill in the back with stone bricks. We want to fill in the right hand side with stone bricks like this. If we just fill in the right hand side like that. Takes a while, doesn't it? Once we have that sorted out. Oh my god, could this take any longer? It might have been easier to do it in long rows rather than the up and down. Then we have to still keep going. Oh, it never ends. Like that. Then, if we create a layer of quartz stairs that come up here, like in between the diagonal layers of stone bricks, if we create a layer of quartz stairs that comes upwards, like this. And then we fill in the top of this thing with block of quartz. Like this. Then if we add like a stone bricks on the outer part of this, which is in line with the diagonal layer of stone bricks that like forms the stairs, and if we place the same corner on the back corner of this, and then if we do dark oak fence in between all of these, like in between the house and the 2 stone bricks that we created, and then if we go up on top of the 2 stone bricks that we've just made and we place 3 cobblestone wall, or maybe even 2. Let's start with 1 and 2. Is that high enough? Nah, not really. So we'll place 3. 1, 2, and 3. Place a quartz stairs on top of each one of those, facing sideways towards you. Do a layer of stone brick stairs in between the quartz, like this. Then you want to make these stairs come up diagonally towards the house. You want to do actually just 1 diagonal with the quartz stairs. So come in towards the house like this. Like that. Then do a layer of quartz slab that is half a row higher than the stairs and actually connects to the side of the house like this. And it just wants to connect to the side like that. I also want to place a layer of quartz slab that kind of like overhangs the right of the builder just underneath these stone brick stairs like so. And then I'm just going to fill the top row of quartz slab inwards. Actually, I'll fill the quartz slab inwards with quartz slab, but I'm going to make the rest of it stone brick stairs. So I'm just going to fill the rest of it in with stone brick stairs, and that'll create a nice little walkway and an overhang for that walkway. And then the entrance is, you know, place the entrance somewhere towards the back, maybe like knock a 2 block gap in the side of the house. Place block of quartz either side that gap. Knock out the top row of that. Add a layer of blue stained glass coming across the top of the entrance, and then a layer of quartz slab across the glass like that. So that will create a nice little entrance for the house. That will be the house pretty much just about complete. There's not that much left to do to the place. All that is left at this point is the garden, which I'm not going to give you a massive amount of tips for because I like not having much of a garden here. So, this house on the front, what I would first of all suggest is that you have what you want to have is a little bit of a walkway to the entrance of the house. So make that using a mixture of cobblestone slabs raised from the ground and cobblestone slabs actually in the ground, like this. So you want to create a little bit of an entrance left and right of where the actual entrance is, and like I said, it wants to be a little bit jagged, and you just want to have cobblestone slabs in the ground and cobblestone slabs coming off the ground like that. Yeah, add a little bit of bush effect around this. Add a couple of bushes here and about the place, doesn't have to be everywhere. Looks pretty decent at that, actually. Maybe even one in the corner there. Maybe even a little bit in front of the garage as well, like that. maybe even a little bit of a bush effect coming up the right hand side of the house, kind of like in this sort of shape, like add like a wavy bush effect coming up the right hand side of the house. And I would aspire, I'm not going to do this on recording because I don't want this part to take long. If you fill the side of that area in with the bush, then, or with the actual like oak wood leaves, then you'll create a nice bush effect that will look good. Vines are also capable of doing the same thing. If you create the center of the walkway here with quartz slab, then that will give you a nice effect as well. Something else that you can also do is you can either bone meal or poppy the ground around the path, around the walkway, if you like. I'm also going to create a bit of a drive. So you have 2 garages, therefore you probably have cars or something in those garages. If you create like a circular area of ground in front of the actual build like this using your cobblestone, and then if you fill in like, I'm just going to like knock in this little bit area here. Then if you fill in all of this area that I've kind of just created here, if you kind of just like give yourself a big circular space like this in front of the garages connecting to the walkway. If you knock this out and replace it with cyan hardened clay, it will look really good. Like, it will look like a nice drive. And that's pretty much all you need to know with the front of the house. Like, that will look really good if you hollow that out, replace that with cyan hardened clay, maybe add more bushes, maybe add more flowers. When it comes to the back of the house, I'm less concerned about the back of the house because, I mean, there's not that much going on here, and there's not a natural way to actually get to it unless you create a path coming around the house. I'd simply create a little bit of a rock garden, or maybe even just like make a section of the house back here, make a section of garden back here, and then just fill it in with like oak leaves and poppies and that sort of stuff. Again, I'm not going to spend very much time on this tutorial version. I can show you, however, what the original version looks like, and that is what I would do for the back. The floors of the house are quite self-explanatory. The first floor is where the first set of balconies are. The second floor is where the second set of balconies are. If you want an attic, then that is wherever you want it, but that is where the 2 floors have been designed. You also have a very large basement area, which is where the garages are as well. That is just about everything that you need to figure out the outside of the house, figure out the inside in terms of floor and stuff. That is pretty much all the information that I can give you regarding the outside and inside building of the house. Let me show you the original version, and you can see what I mean about like the front and like the shape that it should be to really complement the house. Okay, so this is the original version of the house. Can you see what I mean about this kind of like circular shape out in front of the house? It looks really good like that. I think it really complements the shape of the house, and especially when you look at it from this sort of view like here, yeah, I think that it looks really, really great. The walkway up to the entrance, I think the one that I made just looks a little bit better than this one. If you add the hedge into the side, that's what it will kind of look like. It looks really good. At the back, you can see that we have a bit of a disused garden. It's got a little bit of a path. It's got a little bit of bone meal thrown in there. I didn't really fancy doing the back garden very much because I don't think it's a massive feature of this house. And on the left hand side of the house, obviously there's not too much going on whatsoever, but that's a house, ladies and gentlemen. For the actual floors, like you can see that the first floor is here. With this house, the first floor is where the balconies are. The second floor, if we come up this fancy staircase here, this fancy quartz, glass and wood staircase, then the second floor is, like I said, where the actual balconies are. We could actually destroy, we could actually destroy this inside wall of hardened clay here. This actually isn't required. You'd have the same one in the tutorial version, I would think. I've actually just accidentally destroyed like an idiot two salient blocks for that. 3 salient blocks, there we go. And I've just created another one there on the outside. I should stop. I should stop right there. But guys, that is my suburban house. I really like it. I think it's quite realistic. I might even call it like a realistic suburban house because I think it is really, really quite realistic. It's really nice. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please do remember to like the video. That helps me out a load. If you like the video, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, say hello down there in the comment section, and also click the little bell next to the subscription button. That will ensure that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you want to check out any more of my content, you should check out the card system and the description below, and you'll find all sorts of stuff down there. You'll find all sorts of playlists. We don't have that much to show you in this world, but like if you wanted to check out the suburban house playlist, then I'd show you how to make some more suburban style houses. This actually won't have a tutorial yet by the recording of this video. This is actually like a suburban mansion that I've been working on. So I love this thing. This thing looks so cool. It's very different from all of the other suburban houses. And it's a same sort of thing like if you want to see some more suburban houses, like we have even this one, this little small one here. And we have, this is kind of like a British suburban house. And if you wanted to make, say, a modern house or even a modern mansion, then we have a modern house playlist. And we have a wooden house playlist. And we have even more like wooden houses, and we have some cave houses, some survival houses. We have all sorts of stuff on the channel, guys. You don't just come here for the suburban houses or the wooden houses or whatever. We do just about every single thing on this channel that you could possibly think of. We do all sorts of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the cards. Have a great day. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.